In this quick start video, we're going to look at the different layout options for the two main views in VoceVista Video, the long and short-term views. Since these are the primary views you use to examine and interact with your recordings, it's important to understand your options since you may find that different layouts are more intuitive or familiar to you, and that some tasks may be better suited to one view over the others. The long-term view displays the spectrogram and the pitch information for a recording over a period of time, while the short-term view displays the same information for a moment in time. Here's a quick look at the different orientation possibilities we're going to go over. While they look different, they are all displaying the same information. Each is just an alternative way to display the information so that you have the flexibility to use the one that's the best for you. By default, the application displays both long and short-term views for all of these layouts, but you can toggle between viewing only one or the other by clicking either the Toggle Long-Term View or Toggle Short-Term View buttons on the toolbar. Don't worry that you will permanently make changes that you can't undo. You can always reset the view options to the default by selecting VoceVista Log Layout from the Settings Profile dropdown. By default, VoceVista Video displays both the spectrogram in the long-term view and the spectrum in the short-term view in a vertical orientation. The frequency scale appears on the y-axis of the spectrogram, with the lowest frequencies at the bottom. Since the spectrum displays information about the overtones in the same orientation, the frequency scale applies to both views. When you click in the recording in the long-term view, the frequencies at that point in the recording appear in the same position on screen in the short-term view. This makes it easy to relate the information in the two views. To set the application to this view, click the down arrow on the Toggle Long-Term View button and select Vertical Spectrogram, and then select the Toggle Short-Term View button and select Vertical Spectrum. The second option is to have the long-term view display vertically and the short-term view display horizontally. This configuration will be familiar to users of our legacy software, VoceVista Pro. The long-term view appears the same with the frequency scale on the y-axis, but the orientation of the short-term view is now horizontal. Since the views are in different orientations, a frequency scale appears on the x-axis of the short-term view, and the intensity scale moves to the y-axis. The frequency scales in both views are linked. If you zoom in or out of either view, the other scale also zooms. To set the application to this orientation, click the down arrow on the Toggle Short-Term View button and select Horizontal Spectrum. The last option is to set both the short and long-term views to a horizontal orientation. In this configuration, the frequency scale appears on the bottom. The time scale appears on the left of the long-term view, and the intensity scale is on the left of the short-term view. One advantage of this orientation is that the frequencies on the spectrum are the most spread out. This configuration also aligns the frequencies with the piano keyboard in the position people are most familiar with. Since the staff view takes up more of the screen in this view, it can be helpful to hide it. Click the Toggle Long-Term View button and deselect Staff View. VoceVista Video offers 3 different ways to orient the information in the long-term and short-term views so that you can choose the layout that is most intuitive or familiar to you. You may also find that sometimes you change views for different tasks. While they appear different, they are all displaying the same information. Try them out on different recordings to see what works best for you. Don't worry that you will permanently make changes that you can't undo. You can always reset the application to its default orientation if necessary. Note that you can also access Settings Analyzer View to change the settings available under the Toggle Long-Term, Short-Term View buttons.